Guten Morgen zusammen. Hello everyone. So I'm Francois Dupont, Sales Engineering Manager for Central Europe region, strategy. Have anyone of you already heard of this company? Hands up. Really? Not bad. Okay, fine. So when I thought, actually it's the first time I have the chance to present in front of a blockchain, crypto audience. So I told myself, what story do I want to tell today? Maybe to set also the expectation, I'm from the software business, so I'm more a business intelligence AI expert than a Bitcoin expert. So I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I won't make Michael Saylor 2.0 today. I'm not going to pitch the Bitcoin treasury. Actually, for those who ask themselves, why does MicroStrategy, or I say strategy right now, invest that much in Bitcoin? I can recommend you a video. It's called There is No Second Best. Maybe a second question, does any one of you have already seen or enjoyed this video? Okay, so I strongly recommend, guys, have a look at this one. It's my favorite. I always recommend this one because Mike Saylor really explains the reason why we did that 5 years ago, right? What I want to focus on today, also as a software company, is to tell you how Bitcoin does help us to strengthen our software, to strengthen our business. And for that, we will cover 3 points. So I will tell you where do we come from, who do we are as a software company, how does Bitcoin help us strengthen our software, and for this blockchain crypto community, I guess a lot of the setup here is about startups or about new departments within bigger organizations. So I want to tell you guys how our AI-injected solution can also help us succeed in your business. Ready to go? All right, so strategy, actually we are the largest independent AI BI company in the world. Under the ticker MSTI, you probably know it, founded in 1989. So we are since 36 years in the software business intelligence software business, with more than 4,000 customers worldwide, millions of users. Our sweet spots are actually FSI, so bank and insurance, because our software is very good with questions for regulation. I think you've already heard of the word DORA. I think it's a strong one in the FSI, banking and transaction industry. Really good at this. And also in retail, because our software can handle huge amounts of data, and probably the biggest retailer in the world, also the biggest banks in the world, use our solution for that. Okay. Now the second question is, maybe you all want to know, how does Bitcoin strengthen our software business? As a business intelligence, as an analytics company, it's really, really hard to stay independent. If you look at the past, companies like Business Object have been bought by SAP. Cognos has been bought by IBM. Tableau, which is also a big competitor, has been bought by Salesforce. Looker has been bought by Google. So it's really, really hard to stay independent. And independence is at our heart since 36 years. We want to remain independent, and we want our customer to also be able to stay away from vendor lock-ins. They can often, they use our solution, they can choose on which cloud platforms they want to work, which data they want to connect, with which applications they want to link to strategy, right? So independence is our heart, and the question here, for 5 years, we were kind of a billion dollar size company. We produced $500 million a year, which is a decent amount. But how can we compete within or against trillion-dollar company? It's a tough one. How can we stay independent? How can we avoid being bought back by these companies? We needed kind of a shield around us to protect us and remain independent. That's why we invested also 5 years ago. We invested in Bitcoin with $250 million at that point 5 years ago. And what we see now is, since 5 years, we came from a $1 billion size to a 100 billion size company. So we see as a fact that we were able to build this shield around us to remain independent. around 1 billion, maybe more today, so almost the size of a Nike, for example. So we are really proud of this achievement thanks to Bitcoin. And for that, we can really focus on carry on innovating, carry on producing the best software for our customer and remain independent. When we look at our balance sheets, we are also protected also against the macroeconomic, right? It helps us hire the best people and also retain the best people. It helps us experience, innovate within our software. It helps us providing the best customer support, the best or the excellent customer success also for our customer. And for the last 5 years, we did not only invest in Bitcoin, like for 36 years we are a software company, we also carry on investing a lot in our product. So what we do? We rewrote the whole software to make it cloud, to make it work for cloud containers, to make it AI at the core of our software, in order to fulfill our vision that we have for multiple years, to enable the companies, to enable our customer to deploy the vision of intelligence everywhere, to provide insights for everybody in the company. Doesn't matter on which platform, if it's on your phone, on laptop, doesn't matter. So it's really our vision, and thanks to Bitcoin, we are able to provide intelligence everywhere. So the question now for you, what does it matter, right? Let's put us in the shoes of a startup. Let's put us in the shoes maybe of a new department within a bigger company in the blockchain crypto community or industry. We know that you have to be agile. You have to react quickly on market change. This industry is changing a lot. The priorities, the market changes are incredibly quick, so you have to remain fast. You have a small team. It's all about surviving. It's all about growing. And then come the metrics, right? And a new company, they have to track really important metrics. Maybe it starts with some analysis on your, maybe where is your revenue at the moment? How big is your order book? Maybe is your investment in your marketing activity efficient? And how do you know that? How can you gather this number? How many tools do you have to navigate in order to gather this information? If you have to update your business plan, if you have to prepare for your next investor or your next funding round, you need to gather this data. And we know for a fact that you need a lot of time, you need to ask many people, where is the truth? Is it in Excel? Is it somewhere in the database? How many people do I have to ask to gather the information? The way, and we know it, to gather that is really intensive. But for that we have a solution. So imagine a world when you can gather all this information on yourself, like an automatic way. Imagine a world when you do not need a big analytics team to gather the information, to keep them up to date. When you never ever have to ask yourself, where do I find the truth? Where do I find the right version of my data? And how can I make my data available 24/7 without even having to ask myself this question? Make it scalable for today a 10-people company to tomorrow a 1,000-people company to accompany this scaling. This world is called Mosaic, and it's available at Strategy since the end of June, so it's really, really new. Mosaic is the world's first universal semantic layer, and it's brought us the 36 years experience in business intelligence at the age of AI. So with Mosaic, you're able to connect almost every possible data source on every possible cloud platform, and you can gather your analytics and make it available to every possible application. So I see your faces, and the first question is, okay, universal semantic layer. What is a semantic layer? What does it mean, right? It's not about fancy dashboard here. It's not colorful interface. It's all about the metrics that matters, right? I introduced at the beginning, we're talking about some data that you need within the organization. Maybe take some few examples. How many, your analysis maybe is the viewing of YouTube videos. Maybe the number of likes in LinkedIn. You may have some CRM information, right? There are simple metrics like a revenue. Where does data come from to gather my revenue? How is it calculated? How can I derive some mean value? How do I have some ratio to understand the performance of my company? So the idea in the semantic is to put this information in one place. So I define my revenue once, and I reuse it as many times as I need. I use it for my business plan. I use it for this dashboard. I want to connect to a web application within an AI bot, for example. The idea of a semantic is to define it once for you to reuse it as much as you want. It's the core of scalability, to make sure that you have a solution that will always tell you the truth, as today, in the future, scaling from 10 to 1,000 users, it doesn't matter. It's set. And Mosaic does that. Maybe a small schematic, we see it at the bottom. We have all our data sources. I said, maybe you have, probably in this industry, a lot of Excel data. You may have a CRM. In the future, you may link an ERP, SAP, for example. You may want to be also able to switch. Today, you select a solution that you can afford, but tomorrow you need really an enterprise size. The idea of a semantic is that you can connect anything you want, define your metrics, and at the end, consume your data with any application you want. It could be also Excel, it can be a self-made application, it could be Power BI, it could be a strategy solution, doesn't matter. It's universal, it's open, and you have the freedom to choose it. How does it look like? Mosaic, so here we are in a web application. The user that's able to build, so I can directly create a new Mosaic model. It is all AI injected, meaning I select my data sources, doesn't matter where this is got from. From my data sources, I choose the table or the file, maybe this one Excel tab, maybe this one table, maybe this one API from my CRM. And the AI will be able to automatically match the data together, right? Will be able to find the links between all these tables. If there are some links, it must also make sense, right? And you see here in green, you have all your structural data, all your metrics. You can also use an AI chat to do the calculation. Like, you do not need to be an expert. You do not need to know something like SQL to be able to build your own model and make it, at the end, accessible for everyone, right? It's all AI accelerated. Talking about Germany, when it's really rare to find talent, it's really hard. Here, you are really an accelerator with AI. You have your independence in building the solutions that you want. To achieve also analytics excellency is with this solution. It's really good. And at the end, when you save the model, you can consume it here. You have an example with one strategy dashboard. We use also AI to build the first template, the beginning of the dashboard. As you see, one question based on this model, and you have your dashboard, right? It is exactly the same. Here's an example with a strategy dashboard. You can do exactly the same if you have a Power BI solution. If you have a self-made application, you use the API and put the data from there. All secure, the end user only see what he's able to see. You can set everything up at the semantic level. And it is what makes special, right? We saw this example with this kind of boring dashboard with a pie chart. What do I see, a pie chart? It's another subject, right? Another way to consume data is also within a bot. I think you've seen it. You all know ChatGPT. I use it, ChatGPT, also a lot, I won't lie. The question with ChatGPT is when you ask for facts, right? When I ask some calculation, can I trust what ChatGPT tells me? Probably no. If I ask him for a calculation, I will have to check it. So I know some calculation or consolidation where ChatGPT is not that good. And now imagine, you have your semantic, you have in strategy the single version of the truth. You know how your metrics are defined. You know you can trust them. And then you put AI on top. When all the question that you ask about your data is delivered by the semantic layer. It's a huge thing. So same thing we see here in the bot. An example based on a hotel industry is easy to understand. We are asking question to a bot. Occupancy rate for mountain retreat by month. You can break by anything you want, month, week, quarter, and so on. All the data that come here is directly come from semantic layer. I can trust it. AI is just used to understand the question of my user and deliver the answer. All the facts of the data is coming from the semantic layer. That's a major thing. And this bot you can embed it anywhere you want, within your web application, within OCM, to have it directly on your phone. It's really easy. You do not have to write a single line of code to have a working bot today. And that's all the solution that you get with Strategy Mosaic. And if you really, if you're a company, and what you see and say, okay, it makes sense, so if we bring in ideas to you, well, you can try it. You can try it for free. We propose a solution. It's called Auto Trial. And we can accompany you testing strategy and gather the first result to show you how much value the solution can bring you to your company. And it's really easy. Reach out to me via LinkedIn. It's the exact same picture here. And write to me, and we organize a meeting together. We can also chat. I'm here today with my 2 colleagues here in the front row. We are happy to connect and to discuss. Thank you very much.